Dr. Schlopengruben, I have your 2 o'clock here.
Bring him in.
Lieutenant Grease!
Who do we have here?
Meat Stick! They call me Meat Stick!
Meat Stick, is it? What symptoms is Mr. Meat Stick exhibiting?
He's been showing signs of paranoid delusion, some violent tendencies. He's eating his toenails a lot, and he's just generally kind of an
These
asshole.
aren't toenails, they're my toe chips! I keep chips in my toes!
I see.
I'm going to leave him with you and leave the room.
Oh, wait.
bye.
Jesus brought me these chips!
You'll just wait outside, orderly, and I'll call for you in a moment.
I'm a registered nurse, but you can call
Wait
me orderly,
outside, I said, Phil.
Ow! I've peeled all my toe chips off of my toes!
Mr. Meat Stick.
What?
Focus. What the fuck is your problem? You seem crazy as shit.
I'm Sir Galahad!
Sir Galahad. Orderly, you can come back in.
No!
Please come back in.
Fine. What?
I prescribe some bloodletting,
I'm the Raccoon King!
ball whipping. I think we should put scorpions on his nipples.
Jesus is my baby!
We should inject him with Clorox bleach. And if you got some spare time, pee on him, please. And then
I've eaten otters!
put him in the machine that goes like... It spins him around real fast. And then, fucking let him go. I don't care.
I invented mayonnaise!
Welcome back, everybody, to Delete Everything Podcast, our secure psychiatric facility where a benevolent Native American man is going to break a window and get us out of there right before they lobotomize all the lost, omitted, deleted, and forgotten information out of your brain, the stuff you've learned over the last 104 episodes.
Yep. Well, this is 104.
I am your host, Patrick Wall. With me, as always, to my left, the Chief Bromden to my McMurphy, yeah. You're the Chief Bromden to my McMurphy.
Well, then I wouldn't say anything if I was Chief Bromden.
That is true.
Say anything. I'm Riley Bowen.
And to my right, this week we have mic'd up the orderly that beats us and shocks us and hits us with pillowcases full of soap bars. Cruel boy, Drew Bowlby is with us.
Hello.
Not bad.
That's me. I like it.
I've got a whole list of them. I'm getting low though. I'm pretty soon the bit's we're either gonna have to recycle or we're gonna have to put it to rest.
Shorty get low.
What?
You said you're getting low. I said shorty get low.
I struggle to remember where this came from.
What?
I can't remember for the life of me where the stool boy, because it started as stool boy.
For the life of me, I cannot remember what made us think that we were wise and we'd never compromise.
You are already on.
For the life of me.
For the life of me.
Okay. Let's just get into it because this is part 2. So let's not fuck around too much with talking about shit. Oh, you got to do.
That is what we've been doing for 103 episodes, sir.
Listen, nobody's going to tune in and like, oh, part 2 of this looks great. They already heard the spiel to start. So let's just roll.
Okay. If you haven't heard part 1, go ahead and listen to that.
Listen to the first 5 minutes of that so you can hear all this stuff about rating and reviews and shit.
No, I have to do that part.
No.
Fine.
Okay.
Do the ratings and reviews and the stuff I say every week, please.
Join Patreon. Give us money.
Yeah. Duh.
YouTube, Instagram.
Give
us 15,000 stars on Apple Podcasts. Leave us a comment on Spotify. You know the drill.
Right. So the last episode, we covered the birth of psychiatric analysis starting in ancient Greece, moving up through the Muslim world and then into contemporary society. Then we got to St. Basil's Hospital. Basil? St. Basil's Hospital. And that was like the first psychiatric institute for institutionalized medicine. All right. So we're going to start a little bit after that. In 1247, Italian-born Bishop Simon Fitzmary opened a hospital called the Priory of St. Mary of Bethlehem. It was established in the city of London as a charitable religious house rather than a psychiatric institution. Like many medieval hospitals, it provided shelter for travelers, the poor, and the infirm. Now, this is 1247. Not the most interesting year, shortly after the Black Plague.
What was his name?
This was Bishop Simon Fitzmary.
What was he fitting into Mary? That seems blasphemous.
Listen to the Patreon to get some inside.
I don't have a joke
on that.
I don't have a joke for it.
We burned through a lot of dick jokes on the Patreon.
Yeah, well, that's true. We did. All right.
Yeah, we just did a whole Patreon exclusively about dicks.
Gradually, the Priory of St. Mary of Bethlehem began accepting increasing numbers of individuals described in contemporary records as lunatics or idiots or distracted persons. All acceptable terminology in 1247, right?
The last one describes the fucking shit out of me.
Distracted persons, yeah. That's
the general populace.
Some people are chewing on bricks. Some people are just bashing their heads into the wall. And other people are just have ADD.
Yeah, some people are just like, where the fuck are my keys? I just had them in my hand.
Focus on the schoolwork.
I just had my keys in my hand. Where the fuck did I put them?
So by 1403,
I went from here to here.
Mind you, this hospital sticks around for a very long time, like 500 years.
Okay.
Right? By 1403, surviving administrative records list 6 mentally ill patients under its care. Right, like they actually use the terminology mentally ill, like their brain is sick.
Okay.
Right. One of the earliest documentary confirmations that the institution had begun specializing in psychiatric confinement.
Okay.
Because it is a lot easier to take care of crazy people if you don't take care of them at all. Right.
I was going to say in the 1200s, psychiatric confinement sounds bad.
Well, it sounds bad. It also is a great way to boost your numbers. You know, like we are taking care of 300 people. We need funding for 300 people. OK, if 100 of them are psychiatric patients that you're just essentially putting into a big room and throwing slop at, then, I mean, you get a lot of funding that you don't really have to do anything with. Right.
And if half of them are someone's kid that might be from the neighbor, and so I don't want this fucking kid.
Right.
And the other ones are my bitch wife who won't shut up.
I'm not trying to say that the Priory like started out with bad intentions. It was a benevolent hospital, but the psychiatric medicine was so far behind in this time period that they really didn't have any treatments for it other than, restraint or putting him in a room. You know?
Since I got my wife pregnant for the 8th time, she's fucking moody and I think she's crazy. Can we just get her psychiatrically confined?
Yeah, sure. We got a rock that fixes that. The hospital itself was modest by modern standards. They had stone walls that enclosed narrow rooms with very little natural light. Especially at this time period, a lot of the buildings had like arrow holes for windows for the most part. So it was like not a whole lot of natural lighting in these damp catacombic stone rooms. Ventilation was poor, sanitation was really primitive, and privacy was non-existent.
I'm literally envisioning, like before you even got to this, I was envisioning like stone block prison cells with iron bars.
Yeah, pretty much exactly so. And not to say that was the entirety of it. There were other rooms that would have real windows or, in like this little keep area. But those would be like, there's the sick ward that somebody's paying for. Right. Somebody's actually ill and they have the money to pay for treatment.
Yeah, but they're still in a big room with 20 other beds.
Yes, of course. But that's where they get the good stuff. The ones that are like, I don't know, we found this fucking babbling idiot on the street. Well, I guess go put him in the dark room with the rats. I don't know. What are you going to do with him?
Therein lies the question, honestly, still to this day.
Very poor and primitive sanitation. Privacy is non-existent. Cells measured only a few paces across. Straw served as bedding, often remaining unchanged for weeks or months.
Christ.
The one inventory from the early 15th century.
Weeks or months?
Yeah.
People take better care of their hamsters than that.
Yeah, take better care of my chickens who technically live outside.
You just reminded me I got to feed my geckos. One inventory from the early 15th century.
You guys have weird pets.
Well, I got geckos and dogs and a cat.
And chickens.
Oh, he's got chickens. I guess that's weird.
I do need to get them hay, actually. Shit.
Hey. Do you say that when you change their hair?
No, they don't speak English.
You don't know. They might understand English.
Chickens are really dumb. I like them. They're not intelligent creatures.
A lot of bilingual people understand the language before they can actually speak the language. So you don't know the chickens might appreciate you walking and going, hey, every time you
I talk to them. What I generally say is, hey, ladies, or something like that.
Hey, ladies.
Yeah, I actually say like that. I'm sorry.
One inventory from the Priory of St. Mary of Bethlehem.
Actually, you know what I do? Sorry, I won't interrupt you again. But do you guys remember the Afro Man song, Crazy Rap or Colt 45?
Yeah. Colt 45 and 2 zigzags.
Yeah. That's but where he starts that off and he goes, good morning, ladies.
Nice.
Is that what you do to the chickens?
Yeah.
You guys been keeping up with Afro Man's recent legal struggles?
We have talked about it on the Patreon, I believe.
I can't remember what we do here.
Now all I have in my head is just, hey, ladies.
I got
so thank you.
Hey, you.
I've got, hey, you.
Gross. All right, one inventory from the earliest Fuck my ass. One inventory from the early 15th century lists iron chains, shackles, locks, manacles, and wooden restraints as like a main tool.
Oh,
because I mean
gross.
they weren't there to torture people, yet. But restraints were a massive tool. The inventory
They
says
weren't there to torture people, but things happen, man.
I mean, we use restraints to this day.
Yeah, the inventory says
they're not iron shackles, but
What about manacles? How many manacles are you using on a regular basis?
I don't work in the ER anymore, so not, less in the
euthanized patients don't need to be shackled.
They generally don't need them. Sometimes
yeah.
they pop back up.
Sometimes they come back.
What movie is that? The tagline? From?
Sometimes the dead come back.
Is that
Sometimes dead is better. The inventory says a little bit about medicine, but it says more about like custody. The distinction would define psychiatric care for centuries. The institution's purpose was not primarily to cure mental illness, but contain it.
Yeah, keep them out of the eyes of the well-to-do
Exactly.
Citizens.
Did we mentioned on another episode, like royals? I think actually it was in the royals episodes. We talk about how if you had, like
we will never be royals.
If you were in the House of Lords, right? And, cousin Igor or whatever got fucking Habsburg jaw and a limp and he, just fucking chews on table legs all day.
Yeah.
You're not necessarily going to take him, to the fucking, take him to the ball with you.
I thought about did you watch 30 Rock, right?
I haven't really gone through the whole thing.
There's one or two episodes where Paul Rubens, Pee Wee Herman, Paul Rubens plays.
But he's that royal guy. And then
some prince of Hungary or the Netherlands or something like that. They've got him in a wheelchair. He's got like a tiny body and
he's just a little puppet body, which is actually kind of a play on that original Pee Wee special. You ever see the stage Pee Wee?
Oh yeah.
Where at the end he gets his wish from Jambi and he gets to fly.
Yeah.
And it's just a dark stage. They put the spotlight on and he switched into like a black outfit and put his head on a puppet with a cape that's flying.
Yeah.
I'm flying.
I never watched Pee Wee.
Pee Wee rules. Pee Wee's good stuff. Okay.
All right, I'm not condoning what they did back then, as far as like keeping these people in confinement. But what are they supposed to do if, Gerald runs around and eats faces?
Yeah, that's what I was saying. If you were a wealthy, aristocratic elite, and cousin Geraldine just keeps putting rocks in her vagina or something, and and just biting everyone that comes by, then. You want her to get help, but they wouldn't. If you had money, you're not going to give her to the Priory of St. Mary of Bethlehem because they're just going to fucking tie her up in a back room. What you would do is send her to the rich person crazy house with all the funding, where she would be free to shove rocks up there to her heart's content, and no one would ever come visit or look at her again.
So she couldn't bite anybody.
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, barring modern medicine, there's not much you can do.
Yeah, but if you didn't have a financial supporter,
right,
then the Priory is like where you're going, right?
And then terrible things happen to you.
European medicine during the Middle Ages rested heavily upon the teachings of Hippocrates and Galen. Mental illness was commonly explained through humoral theory, which is like excess black bile produced melancholy. Yellow bile created rage. Blood produced excessive cheerfulness. Phlegm dulled the mind, like it does. But these medical explanations coexisted with deeply religious interpretations, and a person could simultaneously be considered physically ill and spiritually afflicted.
I'm going to push back on the phlegm thing because I have made some fire jokes while very phlegmy in this very studio.
What?
Phlegm dulls the mind. I'm saying I'm going to push back on that because I've made some great jokes while being extremely, extremely phlegmy.
What are you saying?
I'm Flemish, I think is what I'm saying.
Gross. So yeah, you could be sick. Like previously, it'd be like, oh, the gods cursed this motherfucker. Then by medieval European standards, the 1500s, 1600s, it'd be like, maybe he's cursed, but maybe we could fix it a little bit. Maybe we could. There's probably sick in a way too. Maybe like food and shelter would make them not.
Maybe the demon that's currently residing in his body.
Maybe they want to get out of there.
Just needs a meatloaf and mashed potatoes and a warm bed.
Yeah, priests were summoned as readily as physicians. exorcism occurred alongside bloodletting all the time. They would literally be putting leeches on somebody and doing the fucking
Dominus Omus.
Dominus anus. Anus Dominus. Dominus Rex. Dominus Rex.
Go on.
Vini Vidi Vici. So, prayer was given alongside of purgatives. which was like a common practice to be like, yeah, you're going to puke and poop your guts out after you drink this shit, but we will pray for you. A lot of families sought like miracle work and priests before they ever went and got any medicine. It was a big thing. But the result was very inconsistent, specifically with prayer. So they ended up going more and more the medical route because medicine, as misguided as it was at the time, had more uniform results. Bloodletting would calm people down. It just is kind of what it does. You ain't got as much juice when you ain't got as much juice.
You're running low, baby.
Right. Exactly. So like
people get really calm when their systolic blood pressure is like 70.
Exactly. So they're fucking.
I'm about a quart low.
That shit, bloodletting, boom, you get a result. So like, okay, well, the priest didn't manage to calm this fucking guy down. In fact, he stabbed the priest. So we're gonna bring him to the hospital, lose a little bit of blood, and then he's just ready to take a nap. Yeah, but people were beaten to drive out demons, like shit like that all the time. Not to mention, of course, throughout the research, this isn't going to come up, but you can also rest assured there was all kinds of raping as a medicinal cure for craziness. It's a common story, like the vibrator, like the common vibrator for women was invented for psychiatric institutions. Yes. Because like, oh, these bitches are crazy. What they need to do is come. Right. That is not an entirely accurate story, but I feel like the bend of that is very much like a lot of doctors would be like, oh, I can cure the crazies for you. So that's like a subtext.
With this dick.
Yeah, exactly.
And then this other dick that vibrates.
Yeah. They'd rape them. It's not a good joke topic, Patrick.
I didn't do it. What am I supposed to do?
Stop making jokes. No, I'm just joking.
We have no recourse for things that happened hundreds of years ago. They're horrific. If you don't laugh, you'll cry.
No, I did want to point out though that in subtext, like a lot of these like tortures and shit that people aren't going to talk about would be administered in very perverse ways by perverse people.
Obviously,
Yeah. So, but it's the perspectivism angle of everything is like the research I have here is a lot more sanitized, but we are talking about dark institutions filled with creepy, sad people.
I mean, there was a time in more recent psychiatric facility history where people who were sexual deviants would deliberately go get jobs as orderlies in psychiatric facilities because it was common knowledge that you could just do things to people. Yeah. And
same thing with undertakers.
And they're not going to, oh my God.
It's true. Surviving records from medieval Bethlehem, which is what the hospital eventually was shortened to, the St. Priory of Mary of Bethlehem. Okay. It would become Bethlehem, just in like your general, we're going to Bethlehem Hospital.
Okay.
And then over the years, the not translation, but like the formic usage of the name Bethlehem became Bedlam. So
where was this?
In London,
in England. So maybe just because of the way that they speak.
Bedlam. Yeah, exactly. It just kind of fucking goes there. Okay. Right. So eventually it becomes Bedlam, and then Bedlam becomes a term for crazy.
Is that the actual etymology of that word?
That is the actual etymology of that word.
Really?
Yes.
Interesting.
So it wasn't just a quirky way of going, oh, Bethlehem sounds like Bedlam, and Bedlam already means...
No, it was like, there's a riot on the streets. Well, it's fucking Bedlam out there.
Because of the hospital.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Because they became specifically oriented towards psychiatric institutionalization.
I don't have to double check you on this.
No, go for it.
You checked already?
Go for it.
No, if you say you checked, then...
I want you to check.
Fuck you.
The surviving records...
Nobody tells me what to do.
These are my favorite factoids that we get on this show. I love shit like that.
The surviving records from medieval Bethlehem are fragmentary, but later descriptions, financial accounts, legal records, and archaeological evidence allow historians to reconstruct daily life with reasonable confidence.
Right? AI says you're right, by the way.
Yeah, quick pause for applause. Pause for applause.
I'll just put it in. You don't have to clap.
Good job, Riley.
It's just one person applauding. Sounds like you were yorking it.
Just slapping it on the side of Drew's cheeks.
That's why we don't have video on the main.
So if you entered,
the reason.
Say it's like 1500, right? If you entered one of these wards, the first thing you would encounter was just an overwhelming smell of fucking like piss, human waste. Rot, even depending on what's going on.
Mm-hmm. What's rotting?
I mean, people maybe.
Oh god,
that's not like rats in the walls. This is still thatched roof territory. So like,
Patrick, you did some like EMS and stuff. Yeah, I'm sure you've smelled like diabetic feet and pressure ulcers. Like, and these people are like
bed sores.
Basically comatose. People they are rotting away.
People who have no way to take care of themselves, and so just.
This is why
a combination of body odor, human waste.
Yeah, I never worked
sores and shit.
I never worked in the medical field,
God.
but like when I lived in New York, I distinctly remember like this thing that would happen. Like homeless people smell like people, but they're just don't smell great.
Right.
But there was like more than one occasion where I'd be like in the subway or something and I'd smell something. I'd be like, oh, that's fucking gangrene. Where's that guy? And I look around and there would be somebody in the corner who's got like a foot infection or something.
Okay.
Like, yeah.
You learn to take short, quick breaths through your mouth, not your nose. But I mean, in some sometimes it's so bad that you actually kind of taste it in the air, and it's like, oh God.
The trick in the hospital is we would put a mask on and then we put 2 masks on, and between the 2 layers we'd smear toothpaste.
Yeah.
To sometimes help. I didn't realize that I was sensitive to smells, and I thought I was like, oh yeah, I got a super strong stomach. But when I got into EMS, I was still a smoker. When I quit smoking, I was like, oh, fuck.
That shit comes back really hard.
Then, yeah, that fucking C. diff smell hits you bad.
There's nothing worse than a smell like that hitting you and turning, like you feel your stomach flip and you just like immediately, you're like trying to keep yourself from,
never puked.
Trying to keep the gag reflex. Yeah, but I mean, that gag reflex, sometimes you're like, ugh.
So yeah, like you walk into one of these things, it's low lighting, human waste mixed with straw, rotting food in the corners, shit like that. Like it hasn't been cleaned out. It's not like a stable.
Right. It's worse than a stable, which is saying
also,
something.
Don't forget this is Victorian era or pre-Victorian London. So you got like all of the industrial smells of varying smokes or whatever is going on out there. All the patients that the patients rarely were bathed, if ever. Clean clothing was essentially non-existent. But then you also have this soundscape, right? Because you're in this room with stone walls.
Sure.
Right? So every deranged sound from everyone who is just suffering in there. I mean, like really, they've been, not only are they put in this sort of prison, they're surrounded by other tortured souls. So it just sounds fucking insane. No, I mean, I guess no pun intended. Not to mention like the rattle of chains, fucking iron rings, people laughing uncontrollably, people sobbing uncontrollably. It just this fucking... I'm gonna say something that's going to make you angry, but I'm not doing it to make you angry. But when you said laughing, all I imagined was like the insane chuckle at the beginning of Us and Them by Pink Floyd. Is that the one that goes
No, it's the one where it's like
oh, that's Black Eyed Peas.
You like hear this creepy psychotic chuckle.
I'm just like raving madness.
The one you just did, Feel Good Inc.
Yeah,
not the Black Eyed Peas.
Isn't that the Black Eyed Peas?
That's Gorillaz. Feel good. It's a Black Eyed Peas.
That was Black Eyed Peas.
Fuck the Black Eyed Peas.
Isn't that Fergie?
Fergalicious definition. All right.
I would fuck 3 of the Black Eyed Peas.
My Fergie's got 2 humps.
Not all 4.
I'll
let you guess which one I wouldn't.
Fergie.
Probably the Filipino one. You racist?
No.
I am not.
He's on the list.
Yeah, he's great. Actually, what's his name? Like Blade or some shit like that.
I don't know.
They're terrible. I mean, I don't dislike them as people.
It's Fergie. It's the Filipino guy. It's Will.i.am. The other guy, I don't even know who he is. Why is he there? He's short. He's got a mohawk for some reason. I don't know what's going on with him. I'm not into it.
I can't.
He hasn't made an impact.
My favorite Black Eyed Peas song is the song they did with Shakira.
They did a song with Shakira?
Yeah, and the music video is fucking great. Shakira rides a longboard in it. She's like 40 years old. She's so fucking fine. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, she's a smoke show.
Unbelievable. Anyway.
Smash.
I'm not interested in Fergie after...
Smash.
Super smash. Double smash.
I'm not interested in Fergie after I saw herself piss her pants on stage.
That is true.
You saw her piss her pants on stage?
Like,
there's video of it,
the video of her
like while she's dancing? Or?
You didn't know about this?
No.
Their tour bus was late to get to a show and they had to like immediately get up on stage and she had to piss and she was like, I can hold it. And then they like during the show, she just couldn't anymore and she pissed her pants. There's videos of this.
Good for her. Yeah.
I mean,
I'll bet you there were dudes in that crowd begging for those pants.
Yes.
Gross. Dude.
I think it's gross. I never found her attractive in like, I mean, she's an okay looking person, but I never I had friends who were like, oh, Fergie's so hot. I'm like, really? Everybody's got a thing. Some dudes like pee.
So, contrary to popular imagination, not every patient in Bedlam wore chains.
I started calling them the Black Eyed Peas after
I'm going to fucking kill myself. I've got these sigh here.
You're not going to kill yourself with sigh.
I'm going to stab myself in the eyes.
Beat yourself to
like
death?
Fucking Sam Neill.
Let's see some seppuku.
In Event Horizon.
I'm offering Riley a katana right now.
I don't want your goddamn katana.
That we got after we did the Yasuke series.
I got these Sai at the same time. So at Bedlam, patients might receive like repeated bloodletting, strong laxatives, induced vomiting, strict fasting, herbal preparations, and cold baths, things like that, right? Each of these at least was designed to bring like bodily equilibrium. So if they failed and they were still crazy, they'd just be like, oh, well, I guess it's something else. So it was a different thing. But they never thought that there would be like, they always kind of assumed they would come to a treatment and be like, yeah, we'll figure it out eventually. But in the meantime, this idiot isn't a real person, so they can still live in piss and dirt. You know, physicians would just conclude that treatment had begun too late or that the disease was unusually stubborn. And that pattern would repeat and repeat throughout psychiatric history, like until now, essentially. When treatments failed, practitioners generally questioned the patient, not the treatment.
Yeah.
So, like, if this person...
Doctors do that to this day, don't worry.
If this person has a screaming dysphoria, right, and the doctor keeps hitting them with a mallet and the person keeps screaming, they'll be like, hey, why aren't you letting the mallet do the work?
Why aren't you cured?
You know? Bethlehem survived largely through donations. The finances were chronically unstable. Records repeatedly mentioned shortages of food, repairs delayed for years, and unpaid staff. Funding priorities reflected more like broad medieval society stuff. Hospitals competed with churches and military campaigns and poor relief and civic construction for very limited charitable resources. You know, like with the House of Lords, be like, yeah, so today we'll distribute 30 teals of silver to a military hospital. And then everyone else can fuck themselves. Good day. You know, and then they come out the next week and be like, this one is specifically for young maidens with big tits. And then they turn around and go away. And everyone else is like, oh, we don't have any big titted young maidens here. That's my analogy. That's it. It's going to work. I'm going to stick with it.
It works.
Young maidens with big tits.
Yeah. The mentally ill rarely occupied the top of anyone's list, no matter how big their tits were. So administrators therefore faced impossible choices about, like, you know, should we repair the roof? Should we buy blankets? Should we hire more orderlies? Or should we buy food for these goddamn animals that we keep in slop, you know?
Wowzers.
Yeah, usually one of these needs would displace the others. Like if it was wintertime, they'd go with the blankets and nobody would get any food. Yeah.
Right. Jesus.
No aspect of Bedlam has become more infamous than the claim that visitors paid admission to observe these patients, which is a fucking crazy thing.
Like a zoo?
Like a zoo. Yeah, exactly.
What?
The reality is somewhat more nuanced than the legend of just like, yeah, I hear you. Come on in. Fuck one pound note to see the fucking mongoloids get whipped, right? But it's more akin to like, it was like a destination for curious Londoners that were interested in how treatment for the mentally ill was actually being done, but it wasn't a teaching hospital or anything of that kind. So like
like a zoo.
Much like a zoo, yes, but like imagine
where
like
people who are interested in what animals do when we're not, you know, when in their natural habitat ish. But the zoo's not teaching you.
But think of it like this: say
how to care for the animals. They're just going in.
Say you had an interest in psychiatric medicine. There's no like school plan at the university for psychiatric medicine. So if you want to formulate a theory, you're going to have to actually see mentally ill people. And the best way to do that would be here at Bethlehem, where the conditions are fucking horrible, but you could at least watch. So you would show up and you would pay for some admission and you go in and observe. That was most like it. Otherwise, I mean, throughout human history, it's not like everyone was an absolute goddamn monster in the past. So like it would be pretty fucking weird even then to be like, I'm going to go look at the poor slobbering idiots in their shit, you know, and like pay to go do it, unless you were a real fucking piece of shit. Which
there was a lot of those people.
There are a lot of those people. You know?
Probably a lot of wealthier real pieces of shit.
They were real people, and they'd come and go, these poor beggars. Good going, doctor.
I want to go look at the raving lunatics.
Whip their balls.
Where's the one who eats shit?
You're like, one? We got a whole wing. Okay. By the late 16th century, and especially during the 17th and 18th centuries, Bethlehem had become a destination for curious Londoners. While historians debate how formalized admission fees were, contemporary accounts make clear that the members of the public regularly visiting to observe patients were primarily wealthy. Wealthy visitors sometimes left donations, and these gifts became an important supplementary source of income for the institution. So they would show up, they would actually donate funds, which is why they were able to come in and see, but they also showed up to be like, oh, look at him.
Did you ever watch Mr. Robot?
Yeah.
Remember when the kind of...
I remember Remy Malek's really good visceral feeling of disgust with the upper echelon of wealthy elites, which is something I feel every single second of my life.
Really good show. But remember it's not Danish, that guy.
Dane Cook.
No.
Well, not a Danish, like an apple turnover or something? Like
his foil in like the first season. What's his name?
Christian Slater?
just a cheese pocket?
No, the other guy. He's not. Is he a Swede?
Is it a strudel?
Oh my God.
The Swedish made.
There's the guy in the show. He's like filthy rich. He's like maybe like a Musk kind of stand-in, and he goes and he like pays this homeless guy to beat the shit out of him.
Fun.
You don't remember that?
No, I don't. I don't recall
This
that.
just reminded me of that with the wealthy people.
Right.
Like I wonder if they like paid to like beat the shit out of them, or
I mean, more
otherwise
likely,
assault them.
Or otherwise assault them. Otherwise assault, I think, is a good term we can use.
Yes.
Because yes, there's definitely a paid money to otherwise assault them.
Yikes.
Yep. Bad. England,
Yeah, gross.
Yeah. So yeah, patients became attractions in this setting, which was bad. Bethlem's reputation has sometimes been embellished by later writers eager to depict the past as uniformly barbaric. Modern historians note that records are incomplete and conditions vary across centuries because Bethlehem was open for a very long time. So sometimes better than other times, depending on whoever was running the fucking place. Or sometimes it was a hospital, sometimes it was a sideshow. Sometimes you had good staff, sometimes you had bad staff. It's kind of like, Drew, how many hospitals have you worked in where you're like, you've worked in what, like 2 or 3 hospitals?
Yeah, I was a paramedic first, so I've been to all of them in the area.
So like
I've directly worked in 2.
How many times have you been in a hospital and been like, oh, this crew right now sucks, or otherwise been like, hey, this is a really good crew they have here, right here,
A lot at certain places.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
all the time.
So it would be something very similar. Like, I bet you there were shifts or months or years even where the crew was really good and everything was handled as well as could be expected.
Sure.
And other times they did not care at all, right?
That's also not limited to just hospital. That's anywhere. You know what I mean? That's any place if you stay long enough to watch like staff turnover.
Yeah.
You have different sort of phases of like, like
He keeps making the thunder roll
Yeah.
and the lightning strike.
Heads up, it sounds like there's a thunderstorm rolling in, so you might hear that in the background a little bit. I'll try to clean it up.
Rolls. And
The other really annoying noise is Patrick keeps playing it with his little sword.
Oh, I thought you were going to say it's Riley singing. The other annoying noise is Riley singing Garth Brooks.
Yeah, I think everybody's used to that by now.
You can definitely hear that.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Okay, I'll stop doing it.
It's going to reverberate up through the mics.
I'm going to stop doing it.
He won't stop holding it, so he's going to do it some more.
No.
Yeah.
100%.
No.
So
I'm
Bethlehem.
going to time it, how long it takes you to do it.
No. Riley's losing it. He's losing it.
Right. Okay, so Bethlehem stands not merely as a symbol of cruelty, but as the first institution where a pattern would emerge that echoes throughout the history of psychiatric medicine, right? When understanding is limited, this is important, this is kind of the thesis for the show today.
Have sex with him.
No, don't. When understanding is limited, treatment often becomes custody instead of treatment. When resources are scarce, custody becomes neglect. And when society grows accustomed to that neglect, the suffering of patients becomes invisible, or worse, a spectacle. So it starts out as like a good institute, and then it becomes, like we don't really understand, but we're going to hold him here anyway. And then with that holding, they're like, he's here every day. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. Wash his dirty ass every day. No. And then when resources are scarce, they just like start abusing them. Like, no, we're not going to feed you. We don't have enough food for you. Shit ass. You stink. It's like it just goes down that steep slope. The only way to keep this sort of a facility running smoothly is like direct oversight and really good funding.
Yeah.
Which is found throughout history and the world in America right now.
I was going to say, the problem is, has there just never been the right oversight or funding?
No, there are many hospitals that have done a very good job. In fact, we could cover it a little bit later, but there was in the 1800s, there was an entire run of American psychiatric institutes that were essentially perfect. And
then we hit the 1980s, and then thanks Reagan, you fucking bitch.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, do you not remember MK Ultra?
Well, I'm saying like
pile of dead monkeys.
We're kind of like, as far as a spectacle thing, it's almost what we do now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Except there's no direct oversight. They just throw them, started throwing them back on the streets in the fucking 80s.
Yeah.
Instead of trying to treat them or
they just
house them or anything.
They closed down all the facilities.
Yeah.
Which...
But then so during the Enlightenment, the era we now call the Enlightenment, the idea that human beings were rational creatures capable of improvement through education and science was like a big deal. So then a lot of focus started being laid on the mentally ill. We're talking about the Enlightenments, like the mid 1700s, the 16 to 1700s, right? 1600s to mid 1700s and beyond. Even people were fucking smart time. They started thinking that like, hey, maybe these are human beings trapped inside of this poor wailing, piss and dirt character. But yeah, so like in that time, a physician might lecture eloquently about human compassion in the morning and then prescribe like whipping and starvation or solitary confinement in the afternoon. It happened constantly. There's a really good movie, actually. I can't remember what it's called, but it's got like Michael Fassbender and Viggo Mortensen. It's about the schism between Carl Jung and Sigmund Freud.
Oh, that sounds extremely boring.
Keira Knightley's naked in it a lot.
I'm in.
Because she's a disturbed patient that Carl Jung is banging.
Of course.
But like there's just a lot of focus there on Jung and Freud talking all the time about these humane cures. And then particularly Jung, like sleeping with patients or, like prescribing like more barbaric treatments for them, but just like because they have to, because it's like, maybe an enema of spiders will fix it. Like, I don't know,
Put the leeches up their asses.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know how to get the crazy out of this. So maybe beat them until I don't know.
Let's mix morphine and cocaine.
Yeah, many of the doctors responsible for some of psychiatrics.
More morphine, please.
Can I have some more morphine? More morphine, please.
Nurse, the patient needs more morphine.
Many of the doctors responsible for some of psychiatry's most disturbing treatments believed themselves to be like on the reforming end of the Enlightenment.
Sure.
Yeah, of course. So during the 18th century,
what these patients need is a good fingering.
If we finger them real good, maybe they'll stop, like chewing on the table legs.
Just don't finger their mouth.
No, the Habsburg jaw. Finger.
My God.
During the 18th century, a profound shift occurred in European thinking, and madness slowly ceased to be viewed primarily as religious or moral failing. It became something physicians claimed authority over. So there were like different sects of scientific thought that was like, all right, so schizophrenia wasn't really a thing at the time, but like I'm the guy that deals specifically with multiple personalities, and then over there is the guy who deals with people who think that they're Napoleon, and then over there is the one who deals just with screaming madness. He's got a good thing over there with screaming madness. I'm the poop guy. They're pooping all the time and eating their poop, so I'm there to stop them from doing that.
Did y'all ever see Quills?
Quills, that's the Marquis de Sade movie, right?
Yeah.
I saw like half of it.
Never mind then.
Oh. Assume there's something poop related in there.
Well, I had a girlfriend.
Marquis de Sade, big poop guy.
I had a girlfriend who loved that movie, and she
Jesus.
Big Sade fan, is she?
I guess, I don't know, but she's like
Marquis de Sade.
He just kept writing, and at one point,
BDSM fan.
I don't know, but well, maybe, but
we're not talking about
probably at this point, but yeah, we're not talking about her. There's a scene in the movie, and she's like, she was telling me about the movie before I watched it. And at one point, they lock him in his cell because he won't stop writing, and then he just starts writing on the wall with his blood, and it's kind of beautiful. And then I watched the movie, and it's shit. Like he wrote all over the wall with shit.
Oh, poop.
Yeah, with poop. And I'm like,
he called the shit poop. Yeah. Okay. So during the 18th century, there's this shift in European thinking. Madness became something to claim as a specialist, right? But this change was not humanitarian. It wasn't like, I'm going to specialize in multiple personalities because this is, this is the area I can help the most. It was just a transfer of power, where priests had once interpreted strange behavior. That was good. You the lightning?
Yeah. I was just thinking that.
Yeah. Where priests had once interpreted strange behavior as evidence of possession or sin, physicians increasingly diagnosed it as a disease. Hospitals expanded and got bigger. Medical texts multiplied. Universities began offering lectures devoted specifically to mental disorders. And you see that in older movies, like The Wolfman and shit like that. You get the teaching hospital where they wheel in the mental patient. And the guy stands up there with a pointer, and he's it's like, this woman cannot stop eating ducklings. It's an obsession. So put her on the whipping table, and we'll show all the students.
Now it's just a show on TLC.
Yeah. What?
The one where people have the weird obsessions.
Is that a thing?
I think it's called My Weird Obsession or something like that.
Oh, My Weird Addiction?
My Weird Addiction. That's what it
I'm
is.
addicted to picking butts.
Yeah, there was one lady who would tongue bathe her cat.
Yeah, gross.
Oh God, the fuck.
And she'd just always be shitting out cat fur. There was one lady that would constantly eat toilet paper.
Gross.
It's a condition called pica when you eat weird shit.
Yeah.
When you're
Really?
compelled to eat weird shit.
Like literal shit.
There's
That's
another name for that.
coprophagia.
Yeah.
Okay. So there was this prevailing theory throughout Europe. The cure has to be worse than the disease. Right. One physician compared insanity to a machine whose gears had become stuck. And the obvious solution, he reasoned, was to jolt the machinery or hit it with a hammer.
The
Right?
solution is oil.
Yeah. Well, yeah. That would be.
Fucking stupid asshole.
Oil is stored in the balls, so you gotta,
So we're going to apply some ball oil.
we're just gonna get some ball oil
to
up
this
in you.
pig-titted female patient.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
Did you say big or pig?
Pig-titted.
Pig-titted.
Pig. She's got 8.
boobs.
God damn.
Okay, so
Carl, why are you fucking the pigs again?
they love it. The
My patient.
oil. It's my ball oil. It's
Treat my patient with the ball oil.
Here's my patient. See, that's a crazy person who fucks pigs.
And then
thinks
it
that they're
turns
mental
out,
patients.
Carl is just a mental patient in the ward.
That's good. That's Cabinet of Dr. Caligari. That's the ending to that movie. Whatever. Okay. So
Made me think of It's Always Sunny when Rickety Cricket falls in love with this like pretty blonde lady.
I think they do that a few times. They've got the one where Dennis is in the institution with Shaq and Rob, Thomas.
that's right. Yeah.
Rickety Cricket is just like strung out on meth or something.
It was
and it's-
Sinbad and Rob Thomas.
Oh my
Yes, it was.
God.
Yeah.
I fucked that one up real hard.
Yeah, you
That's
did.
all right.
Bad.
Which one was the genie?
Shaquille O'Neal.
No, this is a Mandela effect thing.
Yes, I'm covering probably my overt racism there with a Mandela effect thing. It was good. Did it work?
No.
Oh, fuck.
Sinbad, Shaquille O'Neal, same person.
No,
Black guy, you know what I mean?
And it turns out Rickety Cricket is like making out with a dog because he's just on like some drug bender. Anyway.
Gross. Okay, so this philosophy of like the cure has to be worse than the disease, it produced some of the more extraordinary devices in medical history, and we're going to list a couple of them. The rotating chair. Among the most famous of these devices, it was developed in the late 18th century by Erasmus Darwin. There's a fucking name.
Shocks the balls.
And it does not shock the balls.
Damn.
It was later refined by
Shocks the butthole.
Joseph Mason Cox.
Oh boy. I bet he refined
Shocks the Cox. Which is a Peter Gabriel song, I think. The apparatus resembled a suspended chair attached to a system of ropes and pulleys.
I had a girlfriend who was into that too.
Yeah. Once secured by shibari, the patient could be spun at extraordinary speeds for several minutes.
it. What the fuck?
Doctors carefully observed the effects, right? First came dizziness.
No shit.
Then nausea, then vomiting. Many patients lost consciousness. Some experienced temporary blindness. Others bled from the nose or ears as blood pressure.
They spin them at like
fluctuated
5 Gs or what?
Yeah.
Fuck.
To modern observers,
Cured.
the procedure.
Cured.
Dead.
All better.
To modern procedure.
Sounds like my job.
Are you feeling?
all cure.
Are you feeling better now? I imagine you saying that you stroke a corpse. All better.
I'm just gonna roll with it now. I work in the post euthanasia unit. Otherwise known as the morgue.
So to physicians of the era, it represented cutting-edge neurological science.
What?
They believed the violent motion altered circulation within the brain, interrupting pathological thought patterns and restoring normal mental function. Medical journals published detailed instructions regarding the ideal speed of rotation and the number of revolutions required for different diagnoses.
Just spinning.
Straight to
I
jail.
knew it. Wait. Hold on. You
Straight
did
to
it
jail.
again.
I didn't mean to. That was
Yeah,
10
we
minutes.
stop with the fucking katana.
10
was an
minutes.
accident.
It took you 10 minutes. I knew it.
It was an accident.
Ruining my edit.
Few questioned whether inducing extreme physical distress might itself worsen mental illness, which it does.
Yeah, they're just like spinning them so hard that they liquefy part of their brain.
Right, yeah. So other physicians concluded that terror itself possessed therapeutic value. Has anyone ever seen the House on Haunted Hill with Jeffrey Rush?
No, you've brought this up a couple times.
It's very, very, very prescient here.
I've
Okay,
seen The Haunting of Hill House.
the House on Haunted Hill. Actually, it's got Tay Diggs. No,
No.
Allie.
What is Tay Diggs?
Allie Larder?
I know Allie Larder.
What is Allie Larder? Fuck off. It's got who's that guy? Mango from SNL.
Chris Kattan.
Chris Kattan. Yeah, Chris Kattan in his best role probably. Other than
Night at the Roxbury.
Corky Romano.
Oh, I thought you were gonna
my
say Night
God.
at the Roxbury.
You guys want some cookies?
You guys want some cookies?
Legend. House on Haunted Hill is it's a remake of an old Vincent Price movie, right? And it's about all these people who are essentially lured to a former mental institution to be eaten by ghosts or some shit. Good lightning there.
That's
But
thunder.
It's thunder.
I know thunder
You
rolls,
hear
lightning
thunder.
strikes. Okay.
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 It is a hell of a storm.
It's great. I left my window open. It's broken, so it doesn't close. It's just an open window. So it can be wet. I don't care. In the movie, they use old school psychiatric devices as horror devices because it's a horror movie. So like there's like, fucking Jeffrey Rush.
And because they are all horrific.
Yes, exactly. And it's all fucked up, right? So, but they do a lot of stuff with, like they put Jeffrey Rush into one of these spinny machines that has like a strobe light effect that fucking freaks him out, or they use like a hydrotherapy thing where they're dunking him in water, and they're all crazy ghost monsters that are doing it, and they're all in like fucking straitjackets or medical gear, and it's cool. It's really good, actually. It's like that is the part of the movie that I think is incredibly well directed.
I was about to say, I think the last time you brought this movie up, you said it was a terrible movie.
It's a bad movie, but those sequences are done really well and kind of revolutionized, I think, what like contemporary horror shit can do. It's pretty cool, but it's all that sort of psychiatric medicine horror. Does that make sense? Because the machines are all fucking psychotic. Pun intended. Not a pun, but what should I have done there? Anyway, so. If insanity represented disordered thinking, perhaps an overwhelming emotional experience could reset the patient's mind. So they figured fear would be a good therapy. This reasoning produced treatments that deliberately frightened patients. Some hospitals constructed hidden trapdoors through which unsuspecting patients could be dropped into cold water.
See, none of this sounds like I don't give a shit.
Scares the balls.
I don't give a shit how little we understand in this particular time in this era of psychiatric history. There's no way that you can convince yourself that this is going to help. You're just a sadistic fuck.
Well, I mean, this goes back to my theory of everyone knows, which is just something that runs all the time. Religion, everyone fucking knows. They're just using it as an excuse.
Right.
Politics, everyone fucking knows. Like, everyone knows you're being an asshole. If someone's being a fucking selfish prick, they know they're being a selfish prick.
Right.
Everybody always knows.
Right.
So, yes, I agree, Patrick.
People generally think that they'll do mental gymnastics to make them the protagonist.
Avoid self-reflection and awareness. Yeah. Yes, that is true. Yeah, I would say this is just like we're going to put trap doors through here to fucking scare the shit out of them, and that'll make them better. What the fuck are you talking about?
Let's see. Some hospitals employed mechanical devices that suddenly released loud noises or startling visual effects, like strobe light effects, things like that. A French physician described threatening patients with mock executions, convinced that the immediate fear of death restored rational thinking.
Get the fuck out of here.
Right? Like dragging a mental patient to like a chopping block and be like, time to cut your fucking head off. And they're like, and then, huh? You still crazy? You still crazy? Like crazier now.
What is the thought here, that they're just malingering and that it's not that if you just scare the shit out of them that you're
I mean, that was a really common thought process all the way through like World War I and World War II, even into fucking Vietnam. People coming back with PTSD or shell shock. A lot of the times. I mean, how often have you had a friend or an associate that is going through like a tough time and they're not thinking very clearly, but you think like, hey man, maybe I take them out for a drink or something that'll like tighten them up.
Yes.
Right. In this case, the taking them out for a drink is scaring them with a big fuck axe.
Right, but I mean,
that'll straighten them up.
I mean, the thing is, normally, whenever you take that friend out for a drink or whatever, you don't think they're malingering as people who are faking.
Do you have to let it malinger?
Some sort of mental illness. So that's what I'm saying. Is the thought process that they're faking it, and that if we scare the shit out of them and go, well, you're too crazy, we're going to chop your head off.
Yeah.
That suddenly they're going to go, no. I was just joking. I think
it's partially that, but I think like
it's kind of like are you faking a seizure test where we take your, like if you're faking a seizure or being unconscious,
stab them in the leg.
No, you take their hand and hold it directly above their head, and if their hand smacks their face, then they're not faking.
Ah, interesting.
Yeah.
Or like if somebody's faking being unconscious and you do a sternal rub on them.
Yeah. Or a trapezium pinch.
Are you saying just grab their tits? Is that?
No, if you take a knuckle and you go right in the middle of the sternum and go back and forth, anybody who's pretending to be passed out will immediately go, oh, okay.
Are you saying that in order to see whether or not your treatment is working properly, you just torture the patient?
No, this is the sternal rub is a legitimate thing. Like, say,
it doesn't cause any sort of damage.
So when somebody's unconscious or seemingly unconscious, all right, it's called AVPU, AVPU. If you're you're alert. You're just alert. Like I can see right now, you're alert. If your eyes were closed and you're slumped in the chair and I said, Riley, and you woke up, then you're alert to verbal stimuli.
Right.
P is for pain. So if you were slumped over in the chair,
you respond to pain stimulus,
painful
which is
stimulus,
sternal.
and then U is unresponsive. And at that point,
PU.
then I can pee on you.
Unresponsive. Everybody get to peeing. Get to pissing.
Okay. There were reports of attendants firing pistols near patients' heads, arranging staged confrontations with masked figures, or convincing individuals they had narrowly escaped fatal accidents.
This sounds like a modern horror movie.
But it's like they have some,
yeah,
exactly.
Well, I think that's why the psychiatric ward trope is like a big thing in like TV and movies.
Yeah, but like there's one thing, like the making them think that they had just escaped a fatal accident, like having somebody walk past and then fucking like dropping a brick where they just walked past and be like, "Oh, you almost died. Better be careful.
Better appreciate your life
Just
a little more."
hand them a single shot black powder pistol and tell them they've got a duel at noon.
Now, why don't you go down this darkened hallway and meet this masked figure?
God almighty. Yeah, take this pistol. You have to duel him.
So yeah, that's where like the line separating medicine from torture was essentially invisible. Then you had the ancient theory.
Well, and that's the funny thing is like the psychiatric hospital is now employing psychiatric torture more so than actual pain related torture.
Yeah.
Well, I guess in addition to pain related torture.
Guaranteed orderlies and nurses and shit that had at this point stopped seeing the patients as like humans had way more fun with the fear treatments than they had with like fucking anything else. They'd be like, "Oh shit, who wants to dress up as the Bat today?"
Oh my God, that's horrible.
Yeah, exactly. Like, who wants to dunk McManus in the ice tank?
Jesus.
Who wants to run down the hall screaming with a scimitar or something?
Yo, Dorothy just told me that she's afraid of spiders. How many spiders can we get, dude? Ooh. Put her in the spinning chair. Okay.
Guys, I just finished making this centaur costume. I need one other person to get in it, and we're going to gallop up and down the hallways.
So iron chains gradually became less fashionable among elite reformers, and they were replaced by leather restraints and canvas jackets and restraining chairs and specially designed beds. And one notorious device...
You can't get tetanus from leather.
But I mean, I will say...
That's an upgrade.
I think it's an interesting cycle, because we're moving into the 1800s now. Leather restraints and stuff like that being used in institutional healthcare. Mm-hmm. I wonder what the link is to like BDSM stuff.
Well, the good thing about leather straps is you can both restrain them and whip them.
One of the things that
can't do that with chains.
Dude, one of the things that could get you into the mental institution was overly libidinous behavior or homosexuality.
I'm stumped.
Well, you're not seeing the correlation there?
No, I see it. I just don't, I wanted to make jokes, but I don't have any. Chamber's empty. I shot all my bullets at the mental patients.
There's this thing called the tranquilizer chair.
To scare them so they get better.
The tranquilizer chair was invented by Benjamin Rush. He is often called the
grandfather of Jeffrey Rush.
Interesting parallel, baby. No, doubt it. Benjamin Rush is often called the father of American psychiatry. Rush sincerely believed mental illness arose from excessive cerebral blood flow and nervous excitement. So you had too much blood in your head.
Yeah, your blood is pumping too efficiently, and it's making you crazy.
So
you need to slow down your blood.
His chair, known as the tranquilizer chair, immobilized nearly every part of a patient's body. Your arms are strapped tightly, the legs are secured, the torso
that's with the strap across the forehead.
A wooden box enclosed the head, limiting vision and sound.
What the fuck?
Some patients remained confined for many hours. Rush reported that immobilization calmed agitation and restored reason.
False.
Modern readers often recoil at the design. Rush regarded it as a scientific advance because it replaced chains.
Because most people freak out if you keep them completely like unable to move anything.
So
myself included.
Yeah, right. Yeah, fucking you trap me down and I can't move. I'm going to flip my shit.
Yeah,
and I'm not even claustrophobic.
I'm not either. My cousin, when I was a kid, was like way bigger than me. And he used to grab my wrists and fold my arms over my chest and like lay down on top of me where I couldn't move my arms.
Lick you.
I used to fucking lose it. No, he would just laugh hysterically.
In 1796, the Society of Friends, is a small
Someone
institution.
told them it was going to be this way?
A small institution named the Society of Friends. They established...
In an apartment in Manhattan.
they established something I think you guys will like. It's called the York Retreat. It was under the leadership of William.
When can we go?
It was under the leadership of a man named William Tuke, Tuke. The retreat was founded after the death of a Quaker woman in another asylum under circumstances her family considered neglectful and abusive. And outraged by her treatment, Tuke and other friends resolved to create an institution grounded in dignity rather than fear. It had this like revolutionary concept of treating the patients as people. You know, they wore ordinary clothing instead of chains.
Slow down. We're here to York. Stop talking about.
They ate meals together. They worked in gardens. They read books. They conversed with attendants. They walked outdoors. They were addressed politely. Staff members were expected
ferociously.
just whenever they wanted. Whenever and then also on the quarter hour. On the quarter hour, they had to go back to their chambers and York
just crank it.
Staff members were expected to model calm behavior rather than dominate through force, which is the standard medicinal practice in psychiatric facilities now. But yeah, in theory, punishment gave way to persuasion, routine, and kindness. And
I don't believe that being kind and calm toward people with psychiatric issues is going to do anything whatsoever. What we need to do is beat them, throw spiders on them, have them fall through trap doors, and have masked figures cloaked in black waiting on the bottom
their balls.
Enema.
Balls. Different kinds of enemas, not just, vinegar and water. Let's put some yogurt in there. Let's see what works.
Brandy. Okay. This philosophy.
Espresso martini.
You ever boof
peppermint soap?
I can't say I've ever boofed an espresso.
Gets you fucking wired.
Drew, have you ever boofed an espresso?
Let's move on.
You guys remember that that dickhead who was accused of rape that got out of the Supreme Court? Tim.
Which one?
Tim, what's his name? Remember that? Matt Damon played him on SNL.
I don't remember that guy's name. He's on the Supreme Court.
Yeah.
Brett Kavanaugh.
That's it. Tim something. It's like, remember Brett Kavanaugh? He had to go through the trial.
Rapist Brett Kavanaugh?
Yeah, notorious rapist Brett Kavanaugh.
I thought you were talking about rapist Clarence Thomas.
No, different rapist.
Okay.
There are other rapists on there, but we'll get into that.
It's just those two.
Oh, well. So, yeah, Brett Kavanaugh,
we can omit the ladies. That leaves Sam Alito. Different kind of rape, just rape of our legal system mostly.
Okay, excuse me. I have a point.
Okay.
We get it. They're all bad.
They are all bad.
Everyone knows. But Brett Kavanaugh specifically, when they had to do the hearing on his rape accusation, that is definitely true. Yeah. But it happened in college, so they had to read. They went and read through his college diary entries.
Yeah.
Right. And one of them was go to a party tonight with Steve and Boner. And we're gonna go boofing. It's just the bit in the court where they're like, what is boofing? And everyone under a certain age was like, he was putting beers in his butthole.
or other stuff,
or other stuff, yeah. But but Brett Kavanaugh was like, it referred to flatulence. I was 16 years old. It's like, no, dummy.
No, you were putting stuff in your ass.
Anybody who's even dumb knows.
You were putting shit.
You're putting stuff in your butt.
Well-known rapist
before
Brett
you
Kavanaugh.
went to go rape people.
Yeah, you were putting speed in your asshole. Let's be honest.
Anyway, so the philosophy of moral treatment became kind of the standard in the Society of Friends York Retreat.
And Society of Friends York Retreat sounds like if you got the entire cast of Friends together and made a full-length movie
of them Yorking it.
The Society of Friends York Retreat, and yeah, they're just.
I just think about the Justice League sitting in a circle,
furiously masturbating the whole movie.
I thought Justice League.
Yeah. Right.
Now, does somebody still own this name, or can we acquire
Society of Friends? I don't know.
Society of Friends York Retreat.
Well, the York Retreat was a different thing.
But these are just humanitarian aspirations, right? One person that embodied the humanitarian aspirations of early psychiatry, a guy named Philippe Pinel.
Stop.
Possibly Pinel. But
we had a Cox and a Pinel.
Philippe Pinel. The traditional story
Philip K. Dick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Philippe Pini.
Philippe Pini Vagini.
During the French Revolution. Oh, yeah. Pini Vagini, everybody. I haven't done a Pini Vagini in a while.
I don't think you did one last week either.
Pini Vagini.
And I haven't said, man, fuck that old dumbass bitch in a while either.
We'll get there. During the French Revolution, Pinel supposedly entered the ward of the Bicêtre, weird triangle thing over the E, TRE. Bicêtre Hospital ordered patients unchained despite warnings they would become violent, and he demonstrated that compassion was safer than brutality. It became like this really iconic image of the physician liberating the insane from these shackles during the revolution.
And then they killed him.
Then they ate him and alive.
The Society of Friends is the Quakers.
Huh.
Oh, cool. Quakers are fun.
Commonly, the Religious Society of Friends, commonly called the Quakers.
I saw some Quakers at Aldi yesterday, and I didn't fuck with them or anything.
I don't care about the Society of Friends. I want to know about the York retreat.
Well, you can have multiple retreats called the same thing. I mean, I'm sure there are lots of retreats that have
mean what I want them to mean.
I don't think so.
Fuck.
Moving forward, I'm going to move into like the 19th century, okay? One of the central figures in 19th century psychiatry was someone named Thomas Story Kirkbride.
Okay.
We're not going to talk about that person very much, but like the effect that they had on psychiatry later is very important.
Okay.
He was superintendent of the Pennsylvania Hospital for the Insane. Kirkbride believed the hospital itself could function as a therapeutic instrument. Today, this may seem kind of fanciful, depending on how you think of stuff, but it represented one of the most sophisticated psychiatric theories of the area.
To all of Pennsylvania. Or are we talking tri-state?
So the ideal asylum, according to Kirkbride, was enormous windows allowing abundant sunlight, wide hallways filled with fresh air, high ceilings, beautiful gardens, walking paths, libraries, music rooms, workshops, farms, separate wards according to diagnosis, private bedrooms whenever possible.
And then everybody told him, shut the fuck up, we're not paying for that.
Shut up, nerd.
So like
go back to Rivendell. What the fuck are you talking about?
So like the insane asylum that Thomas Dolby pulls up to at the beginning of the video for She Blinded Me with Science.
Yes.
Perfect.
Yeah, perfect. The thing was that those hospitals, there was a huge push for Kirkbride hospitals in the 1800s. There was like a lot of enthusiasm. Throughout the United States alone, dozens of massive Kirkbride hospitals were constructed between the 1840s and the 1880s.
Yeah.
This is a great time for that. It's also where the big fuck haunted sanitarium tradition comes in the United States. Like, I'm sure you've lived or been someplace at some point that's got like a fucking mental hospital rotting somewhere in the woods. Where I grew up in Detroit, there was one not far from my house, actually, that like the kids would break into to do drugs and shit.
Was it like up on a hill?
It was kind of like
Wispy trees all around.
There were wispy trees, definitely. It was more of a wooded lot, chain link fence, fucking like OSB covering the windows and shit.
Always lightning crackling behind it for some reason.
It was a big fuck brick building.
There's a storm cloud directly above
remember
it
we
all
talked
the
about
time.
we talked about the melon heads of Michigan?
Yeah.
Melon heads of Michigan come from a very similar structure in that area.
Okay.
I think a couple hours away. But I told the story at some point, as I've told my whole life at this point. I'm out of stories. But but like going in there and going into the basement to see like the operating rooms and noting that there were blood gutters on the sides of the tables.
Gross.
Yeah, and we talked about Blood Gutter as a band name. But throughout the United States, a bunch of these fucking hospitals are built all over the place. Their scale was astonishing. Some stretched more than 600 feet from wing to wing. Others occupied hundreds of acres of farmland. Many contained their own dairies, bakeries, orchards, and cemeteries, power plants, and churches, workshops, and schools. And a lot of them were like self-contained little towns.
I feel like you can't get away with Blood Gutter as a band name past the age of like 16.
I just noticed that my katana has blood gutters.
Will you stop with the fucking katana?
Look, it's got blood gutters.
Well, I don't know. Dwight gave me a shirt earlier for a band called 200 Stab Wounds.
Yeah. If they aren't kids, like...
They weren't kids.
If they formed the band when they were that young.
Blood Gutter.
Like...
It's like a crowbar, you know? Blood Gutter. So it was more like a low voice. That's how Blood Gutter goes.
I got nothing.
Okay. A visitor entering one of the Kirkbride hospitals during its early years might have found patients tending flower beds or playing musical instruments or painting landscapes or attending literary discussions.
I want to go. That's not what it was like when I got fucking locked up.
Yeah, right?
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that. Drew, you want to tell your story?
Yeah, well, are we getting more contemporary later?
Yeah. We're getting past this and moving into it. Would be some stuff.
And in my youth, I had some experience with some of this stuff.
Hey, Riley.
I think I'm going to start jumping forward a little bit, though, because I think we're running a little long on time.
Hey, Riley.
Probably, yeah.
Blood gutter.
Yeah, I know what it is. I know what a katana is, Patrick.
I didn't think I had a blood gutter.
You stop playing with the goddamn katana. course, it has a blood gutter. Blades have blood gutters. So
Not
when you stab
always.
somebody, you make an airtight seal on the blade, and you need a fucking blood gutter so the air will get in and the little
So the wound
embolic
doesn't
bubble
close and
will-
they
you
bleed
can-
out.
And so you can get your fucking knife out.
Also, yes. It also keeps the wound from closing entirely.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does.
Also,
I
blood
wouldn't.
gutter sounds pretty cool.
It's ridiculous. The tip of the fucking sword doesn't have a blood gutter, does it?
It probably runs all
So
the way.
once it stabs, the blood gutter is going to cause more damage.
The blood gutter starts about 1.5 inches in.
Exactly. That fucking wound is already made. It's not like the blood gutter on it is going to cut like a weirder pattern. It's not sharp. It just goes in so it can let the air in and pull out. It has nothing to do with keeping the wound
I
open.
really want one of these.
That's why
annoying-
they make triangular blades.
I want one of these annoying conversations to go on long enough that Spotify auto generates a chapter about
Blood
something
gutters.
stupid, like Patrick's sword, Riley's.
You guys
sword
have told me to stop playing with the katana enough times that it might say something about Patrick won't stop playing with his katana. Which
Story
was
of your
that?
life.
Was that in the list of penis synonyms?
Katana, probably. So that
During
okay.
our Patreon, Riley read off about 40 penis names.
Speaking
some of which were hilarious.
apropos,
The capital of Nebraska.
in
That'll
18
probably be a short, so
Okay.
look out for that one.
in 1802, a woman had a profound effect on psychiatric medicine in America moving forward. Her name was Dorothea Dix.
Why are all of these? What is happening?
I mean,
we
over
had
the-
Cox, we had penis, and we had what? Not
Penal.
penal.
There's been a couple, yeah.
And now we've got
maybe that was
now
the
we've got
Patreon.
dicks.
Over
You make that the end stinger. They just now we've got dick.
Over the course of this show, I've noticed how many people, and maybe it's just us,
Have dick
projecting-
names. They've got dick names like crazy.
Yeah, I mean the show in general. Like I'm
Yeah.
working with you guys for a year and a half or whatever.
Yeah, we're not making these names up, so I mean,
Yeah.
it is just the way it is. I
It
guess.
might just be us. I'm starting to think.
Yeah, so it was
just-
Riley
we just
Boner,
see-
The dicks find us.
Drew
Andrew-
Ballsby, and
Blomey.
Patrick Balls.
It's Andrew Blomey. Thank you.
It's not that. It's not a coincidence. The dicks find us.
Okay.
Maybe the clit is supposed to find us too.
Then maybe, you spend a little more than 5 minutes down there, you'd find out for yourself.
That was Patreon.
Oh, sorry. Oh, we found out on Patreon that Patrick gives bad head. Okay, so no individual shaped
Never heard any complaints from you, buddy.
No individual shaped American psychiatric care more profoundly than Dorothea Dix. Born in 1802, Dix began her career as a teacher before turning her attention to prisons and almshouses, which is like a poor
Yeah, naturally. Why would you want to deal with those kids when you could deal with crazy people and poor people?
Yeah, exactly. What she witnessed would alter the course of her life. Oh, my car is getting soaked right now.
Yeah.
It's too late. In
Tell me
1841,
more about the dicks. The dicks for the
Tell me about the dicks. Tell me about the dicks.
for the insane and destitute.
Dicks.
I'm going to start that society. Society for dicks for the insane and destitute.
In 1841, while teaching a Sunday school class inside the East Cambridge jail, she encountered some people with mental illness confined alongside criminals, which is very, very common. Even to this day, very much to this day, if say a disturbed person is making a ruckus downtown, they don't take them right to the psychiatric facility. They take them to the fucking to
ruckus.
jail, right?
They often take them to the ER.
Or the ER first.
Yes, for
So
medical clearance.
Just to the ER, and then to the euthanasia unit, and then the post-euthanasia unit.
Yeah, I just can't get away from these guys.
And that's it. And you put them down the chute into the big whoosh fire, right?
Yeah.
After you have your way with them. All better. All better. I'm stroking my mic stand like Drew strokes their bodies.
You're cured now.
Cured. Cured. Cured.
Sodded. Society of dicks for the insane and destitute.
In 1841,
My new society.
In 1841, while teaching a Sunday school class, she encountered some people with mental illness confined alongside criminals in a prison. Some were naked, others were chained, many were held in unheated rooms during winter because local authorities believed lunatics do not feel cold.
Well,
Kind of a babies don't feel pain, black women have a higher pain threshold, stuff like that.
I've never heard babies don't feel pain. I think it's
Yeah?
very obvious they do.
Well, why do they cut their dicks off then?
Fair.
But she was appalled,
Riley?
regardless.
I mean, Drew?
What? I don't remember being circumcised. What do you
True.
want?
Do babies feel pain?
Do babies feel pain?
Do babies feel pain?
You both have children. I don't know. You tell me.
I mean, I fucking hope so. Or none of my lessons will have landed.
It almost felt like we were like sentient robots there. Do babies feel pain?
That's pretty good. Every once in a while, you guys really sync up.
It's the mind melts. Like, we've just been doing this long enough. It is actually an interesting psychiatric phenomenon because I have another friend, my friend Stephen Sanders. He and I lived together for a long time, and we did have like this weird psychic mind meld thing, just because it would be like this daily routine of like living together and doing the same stuff, right? And just hanging out and watching movies. We had the same movies, the same music, and the same food, and it just became like one person, you know?
One thing that Riley does that I am definitely not as good at is like strange word association stuff. I just don't. That's not something that I have. Yeah, exactly. See,
but like now with,
I think it's probably because I pay more attention to what he's saying, and he just
finds a word.
He just gloms onto something I said, stops listening, and like is like, I have to make a joke. I have to make a joke.
You glom on. I have to make a joke. I have to make a But no, like with Pat and I now, like just constantly being like on mic and working together all the time, and me listening to the episodes of the Patreons and
having worked together before for years.
Yeah, exactly. It's like it's starting to get a little creepy. I've got
you guys.
Oh, one.
You guys don't know this, but Riley and I can almost not even have a conversation together for more than like 3 minutes without being like, God damn it, we just need microphones all the time.
Yeah, it's true. We literally work together now, and we'll be talking about anything at all.
Usually we like powwow in the morning before we go our separate ways.
And it's like, fuck, we can't have these conversations without the mic.
We're not allowed to talk to each other.
That was good content. All right. Anyway, we're running long now. What time? We're at 90 minutes probably, right? So seeing the conditions under which these people were held, she was obviously appalled. And rather than writing a newspaper article...
Thank God.
Yeah, right?
She wasn't like, hey, you guys are doing a great job. Let's do more. Have you guys thought about trapdoors?
The cops are like, well, they're lunatics. They don't feel fucking cold.
Yeah. I got this goat skull you can borrow.
Yeah, like, look at them.
Have you guys thought about building like a stage guillotine and pretending we're going to execute them?
Oh, we do that every day. Like, every Wednesday.
That could be really fun for me.
So she embarked on a methodical campaign of investigation, and she traveled thousands of miles across the United States, and she visited county jails and poorhouses and workhouses and private madhouses, and she took meticulous notes, recorded names, locations, and dates and specific conditions, and her reports were written not as like abstract arguments, which was like the common thing at the time. Like, who did the slaughterhouse expose? You know what I'm talking about? The guy fucking, he saw bad conditions in slaughterhouses, wrote about it. It was very, very famous. It's called Upton Sinclair.
Oh,
okay.
You don't know Upton Sinclair?
I am familiar with Upton Sinclair. I didn't know.
His most famous work was The Jungle.
Right. I didn't know about slaughterhouses.
Jungle is about slaughterhouses.
Oh.
Okay. Anyway.
I read, Riley. I read books.
She took meticulous notes, and it wasn't presented as like an abstract argument, which is something Upton Sinclair would do. Right. But it was like a detailed indictment that was intended to confront legislatures specifically with evidence that could not be dismissed. One of her most famous memorials opened with a direct appeal to the Massachusetts legislature, like this. She says, I proceed, gentlemen, briefly to call your attention to the present state of insane persons confined within this Commonwealth in cages, closets, cellars, stalls, pens, chained, naked, beaten with rods, and lashed into obedience. It's
wicked fucking bad.
It's fucking bad out there.
It's wicked fucking terrible.
They got them in fucking cages. They got them in closets, cellars, stalls,
They're
pens.
whipping them. They're whipping them.
They're whipping them. They're naked. They got rods. Okay.
They got rods.
So the power of dicks.
That's the power of dicks. Da, 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 da.
Don't need money.
Don't need foreskin. Don't need balls.
I guess we did not run out of dick jokes on the Patreon.
That's the power of dicks.
It's your fault. You said power of dicks, Riley.
You knew what was going to happen.
I didn't. I fucking I'm reading the shit. It's dicks apostrophe S, but like it's not Dix's. I had to say the power of dicks. The power of Dick's rhetoric lay in its precision. She rarely accused without documentation, and she named towns. She described individual rooms. She recounted conversations with jailers and local officials. She's like, on fucking May 15th, 1821, I talked specifically to Mike Smith at this county jail at this time.
That guy's name was not Mike Smith. It was fucking
Algernon Caldwaller.
It was Gerald Vagina. Hubert
Plubert. Hubert McHubert.
No, Megan, all of their names have been genitalia so far. Hubert Boobs.
Hubert Glands.
Hubert Glands. Yeah.
Hubert Boobs. Boobs are not genitalia. Others.
Fair
I
enough.
think Clitty's the last name, right?
Clitty.
I think Clitty's the last name.
That's like
Geraldine Clitty.
the kids saying like something's lit. They'll be like, Liddy.
Oh my God.
Clitty.
Riley just did the hand motion too. Liddy. You guys all know the hand motion.
Yeah, I'm going to die soon. Her investigations revealed the people confined for decades in spaces scarcely larger than animal stalls. Some were chained to walls because counties considered attendance too expensive. So, like, they would find a madman and put him in the county jail and just chain him to a fucking wall for the rest of their lives, essentially.
Clitty is the 2,746,821st most common surname in the world. Approximately 50 people bear this surname.
What's the most common?
I don't know.
Mohammed.
Muhammad's a
That or-
first name.
Tell or something.
Then it's
It's Al Muhammad.
Lee.
No, I think like Smith and Jones and all those. I mean, is this just America or worldwide?
No, that was worldwide. The most common surname, it's probably
Chin.
it's Wang.
Wing?
Wang.
Is it Wang? Is it the most common surname in the
Sure,
world?
yep.
World's full of them.
Over 100 million people.
On May 12th of 1821, I spoke to Douglas Wang and
Yes.
The Power of Dicks.
Wang.
But yeah, so her big thing was like a lot of these people that have committed no crimes other than being mentally ill are being confined with criminals. You know,
Right.
who are, I mean, not all the time, but they're assaulting them in another sort of way.
Still
you know?
happens to this day,
Yeah,
by the way.
all the time. Yeah, all the time.
Well,
You know?
because the legal definition for insanity to be able to not go to prison,
Yeah.
you end up being confined to an institute for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
But that's more expensive.
Yeah, my experience with this, I have a family member who was institutionalized
Until pretty recently.
and they're doing great. But prior to that, they were in jail for almost 2 years.
Jesus, I didn't know that.
Yeah, and it was like pulling teeth to try and get somebody to even talk to them, much less get like they were just in fucking straight up county jail, and then in the Jacksonville sheriff's office.
The legal definition for if you have any sort of if you've committed any sort of crime that would require jail time it's a much more heavy burden of proof because you can be diagnosed with all kinds of things. You can be diagnosed with borderline personality disorder, schizophrenia, you name it, like severe bipolar disorder. Those things can all be true, but the burden of proof in terms of criminality is whether, if you did anything, say you murdered somebody and you said, okay, well,
let's say I did.
I'm paranoid schizophrenic, I was off my meds, yada, yada, yada. If there's anything in the investigation that turns out that you did something like tried to hide the body or something like that, you knew that what you did was wrong.
Yeah.
So therefore, criminal insanity is a way different benchmark.
Yeah.
So most of the time, even though somebody who is legitimately insane and might have done something because of the legitimate insanity, they've committed a crime, and the burden of proof for that is like, no, you didn't do it because you were insane. You did it, and so put them in jail.
The contemporary state, at least in Florida, it was like, so the person I was referring to was in jail, right? And then eventually got a hearing that they believed was like to get them out because they hadn't committed any crime. Mm-hmm. And that hearing was with somebody who decided like, no, they're actually pretty fucked up, and we're going to put them in a state hospital. Mm-hmm. But that state hospital was a step up from prison, barely, because it was outside of a state prison.
Oh,
it was like,
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it was in like an Indian town, Florida, which was like, dude, like fucking driving down a dirt road for an hour almost with alligators on the side of the road in like South Florida. It was like,
so there was no crime committed. Why did they put?
Because it was a wellness call for agitation, and then the person was put into the jail to await a hearing.
And then
because the
Was a 2-year wait?
yeah.
Holy fuck.
Yeah, because, well, just like a regular county hearing for a crime or a misdemeanor, that goes pretty quick. But actually getting a psychiatric assessment it takes a long time.
Yeah.
You know? And in the meantime, there was like a charge attached to it, but it was nothing. It was like a placeholder. Then there's this
resisting or something silly.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. And so like the drive out to this like state prison in the like outside of the Everglades was like endless. And I'm trying to think of the musician that this like music would be attached to. It was very like, yeah, think about let's see, Dusty Workers, not China Girl, not China Girl. Who's that guy that fucking does all like the slide guitar and all like the Western soundtracks? Come on, Drew.
I know what music you're talking about. I don't know the specific artist.
Fucking just say T-Bone Burnett. Anyway,
okay.
It was
everyone knows that guy.
God damn it! I'll try the other one. Hold on.
No, it's fine.
No, it's not.
It's T-Bone Burnett.
Everybody knows T-Bone Burnett.
Yeah.
I'm a big T-Bone fan.
Old slide guitar T-Bone. We know it. That's.
How about Ry Cooter? We do Ry Cooter.
I mean,
We got Bone and Cooter. What the fuck is going on?
Dicks, Bones, Cooters.
Hey y'all, I'm Ry Cooter.
Anyway, so like going out to this like state pen was like fucking very Ry Cooter. Sun beaten down, fucking vultures circling and shit. And you get out there, I actually had to walk into the state prison and be like, hey, where's the mental health unit? And they're like, out back. And you drove around back of the prison and there was a stone sign. This is not a joke. I saw this with my own eyes. There was a big stone sign with the words Institute for the Criminally Insane carved into it. Mm-hmm. And someone had slapped like a plastic sign, like a much smaller plastic sign over that said behavioral health unit. So that was essentially prison. You know, there's barbed wire in the whole deal, right? So that was a step up from actual jail. And then the transfer from that went to the state hospital that was very much one flew over the cuckoo's nest, like fucking white uniforms, whitewashed buildings and brick and shit. It was really crazy.
Weird.
No pun intended, I guess. That's not a pun either. Fuck. Anyway.
Just stop saying that.
Yeah.
Because you don't know what it means.
Anyway, so Dorothea Dix. Dix understood that moral outrage alone is insufficient. She relentlessly lobbied governors and legislators and argued that properly funded state hospitals would be both more humane and more economical than the perpetual confinement in local jails.
I hope that our listeners waited through that silence with the same sense of anticipation that Drew and I obviously did for you to say dicks and then a verb that made it funny.
Her advocacy succeeded beyond almost anyone else's expectations. By the end of her career, she had influenced the establishment or expansion of more than 30 public psychiatric hospitals across the United States.
That's cool.
Good for dicks.
Unfortunately, those institutions, when they opened, would fall victim to political neglect.
Institute of Dicks.
It is a bummer. Because it's always like this thing, like governors will deliver these speeches. Governors will deliver speeches celebrating scientific progress, and newspapers will hail the arrival of more humane age, and funding will be really, really good during construction, and operating budgets will be huge.
And then the general populace will get distracted.
Yeah. Well, politicians fucking love opening shit like an insane asylum because it's politically rewarding, and be like, we're gonna take care of these poor bastards, right?
Yeah, but then when it comes time to fund it, 3, 4, 5 years later,
politically, it's very rewarding to open one of those.
Yeah.
It's very tedious to maintain it
to fund it.
Yeah, exactly. So that imbalance could become one of like the more defining features of 19th century mental health policy. So,
which is funny because it's like, especially in the 70s and 80s when all the mental health facilities shut down and all these people got sent out into the streets. It's like I feel like there was an opportunity there to be like, hey, we need to fund these better. Yeah. Which means either we got to up sales tax or we got to up property tax. We need more money in the coffers to be able to specifically put toward this.
Well, I mean, it's the standard.
And most people are going to go, well, I don't want my taxes to go up. But then you go, okay, well, the other option is we put all the people in these hospitals in the streets, and most people will be because they're like, I mean, what town is going to be like, sure, yeah, let all the crazy people out.
The fairly obvious.
Not that that's a very jaded way of putting it,
right? Of course,
but like most people would rather have people with disorders, with psychiatric disorders, be somewhere where they're going to get treatment and where that treatment is going to be well funded and, you know.
Well, I think the frustrating thing, one of the many frustrating things about that sort of care is that like the immediate thought is like, oh, well, these raving lunatics occupy these facilities. But really, it's
which
like,
is not how it always
it's also people with epilepsy or individuals with dementia, traumatic brain injuries, intellectual disabilities, people recovering from strokes will end up in psychiatric facilities because it's something very akin to like an old folks home in terms of care, you know?
Some poor kid with dyslexia is in there with like somebody who's got, you know, severe paranoid schizophrenia.
Women with experiencing postpartum psychosis.
Yeah.
Like that's not even far-fetched.
Ever since I got my
own
wife.
daughter's my own daughter's grandmother on her mother's side spent time at a facility after like her second kid or something.
Yeah.
Like it happens all the time.
Yeah. That shit's real as fuck.
Yeah, people with severe alcoholism, victims of syphilis because the dick's rotting away.
This must be pre antibiotics.
Yeah, right. What's the drunk history explanation of syphilis? It's like, yeah, they've like their own the dick pus backed up into their brain.
Oh God.
Now he's a syphilitic moron. Individuals whose families simply could not care for them. I was like, this person needs more care than I have. Send him to the
psychiatric facility. Crazy.
Yeah. Part of the thing was we were like, we're in this golden age of psychiatric care. We're going to take care of people. So that made the American public trust that these facilities were better than they'd heard about previously. At this point, we're getting into the early 1900s.
Okay.
The people would trust that like psychiatric facility was better. So then they would just start sending people because it used to be there was a sort of like self-governing cycle, I guess, where you'd hear about the conditions in the mental institution and be like, well, I'm not going to send my kid there.
Right.
Right. Fuck that. We'll just put him in the basement with the dog.
Oh, God.
But now it's like, you know, you hear like, oh, this beautiful institution got put up. They're funneling money and they really care now. The Kirkbride thing, you know, these great facilities. So now, yeah, okay, run free, right? You put him in, let him chase the squirrels in the field.
This is so horrific.
I'm referring to one specific person that would have, you know, so an ideation of a dog, you know.
Okay.
Called canine ideation. Anyway. But like people started getting confidence at the hospital, so then admissions started to climb.
Well, now they have furry conventions for that.
And as as admissions climbed, discharge rates failed to keep pace. So they weren't treating enough people and letting people go fast enough to meet. So they're getting overcrowded again. The conditions are chronic, so nobody's even fucking leaving. Patients who recovered often returned to like poverty. Like, okay, great, I'm better now, but what do I do back on the streets? Go back to like prostitution and drugs? No, I'm just gonna be crazy here still. So you had like a number of fakers who would just be like, oh, I never got better. I don't know, now I'm gonna have to stay here.
Malingering.
Malingerers.
Malingerers. Mm-hmm. You have to. So yeah, some people just never fucking improved, and a hospital designed for 250 patients, you know, might end up holding 400 or 600 or 900 people at a certain point, you know?
Jesus.
Yeah. No superintendent, however compassionate, could preserve individualized care under these kinds of conditions. And then, of course, if you've got 900 people in, say, 300-person facility, everyone's overworked, all the supplies are gone, the funding doesn't match, so you need more funding. And then the government's like, why is the fucking cost of this place 4 times what our budget was agreed on? You know, which will cause underfunding and then eventually closing. Yeah. And what happens when you close a mental patient or a mental institution full of mental patients? Where do they go?
Back out.
Back in the streets.
Yeah.
Taking it to the streets.
Taking it to the streets.
Taking it to the streets.
Taking it to the streets. Thank you for letting me do the Michael McDonald part on
that. One of the cornerstones of moral treatment was like productive work. Physicians believed that gardening and farming and carpentry and sewing and laundry and yada yada restored this sort of routine self-respect for yourself, which I actually kind of believe as well. I think, you know, if you have the ability to do your own laundry or something, that's, you know, not necessarily your favorite chore, but like it shows that you've got ability to take care of yourself, which helps.
There is also something about having sort of like relatively like things that don't require a whole lot of thought, a whole lot of like talent in any area, just sort of mindless things that you can do. Like podcasting that sort of just like puts your mind enough at ease that I don't know how to describe it really. I find that like not that I have a history of depression or anything like that, but that doesn't mean that I haven't experienced it ever in my life. when that type of shit happens, like it helps me to just do essentially chores.
Oh, I mean, that is why it's part of the reason I'm so fucking busy all the time. And why I took on this and like I have to do shit or
to chase away the depression.
Yeah. Especially since I quit drinking because that was my coping mechanism for a long time.
Self-medication is a big deal.
Yeah.
It was one of my things too. Like I feel like I have so much less time since I stopped drinking because I have the ability to do things.
Yes.
When previously it'd be like, I can't do anything. I'm hungover and pissed.
Yeah.
And I need to lay here and hate. And if
you're not hungover and you opt to not do anything, you that comes with like, typically for me at least, like a huge amount of guilt that I'm not being productive.
It's like I don't have an excuse. Hangovers are a great excuse to not do shit.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Also a great excuse to hate yourself and be depressed.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or in my case, the one of us who still drinks, you just go do the things that you have to do anyway. And you just go, all day long, like yesterday for me.
Yeah.
I left work at like 2:30 yesterday.
Did I tell you what happened yesterday?
Tell me after.
I'll tell you after. Okay.
Yeah, I left at 2:30. I texted our boss. I was like, "Hey, I'm not feeling very well." I did not tell him that the events of the previous night, but yeah, I was like, "I'm not feeling very well. I'm gonna head. I'm already in overtime anyway, so go ahead and head out."
Good call. Okay, so for a lot of hospitals, you had these like programs for like carpentry and sewing and yada yada. For many patients, especially in the early years, it was like really therapeutic. A lot of diaries and letters describe satisfaction in tending gardens or learning, a skill. But as institutions swelled, the lines between therapy and labor started to blur. Hospitals depended on patient work to reduce operating costs.
No way.
Farms produced food, bakeries supplied bread, laundries processed enormous quantities of clothing and bedding, workshops manufactured
all I can think about is
furniture.
Happy Gilmore. When Ben Stiller's the orderly, and he's
now
like,
your back's gonna hurt.
Taking the order for the quilts, and he's like, "This is premium woven shit."
But like, what jumps to my mind is like,
blankets.
Okay, so you've got this kind of like little village where, you've got somebody who's doing carpentry and somebody who's doing baking and it's sort of like self-supplying. And then you're also cut off from the outside world. It becomes a cult. That's a cult at that point if you're living in this little commune, right? So then you have the head administrator. All they have to do is put on a fucking dashiki or something and start banging the patients. And there you go. There's your cult.
Or set up an Etsy shop and start selling all the goods.
Right.
And now we're required to do this. So it went from therapeutic to get to work.
Yeah. Critics increasingly asked whether hospitals were becoming economically dependent on unpaid patient labor, which they were. And in some institutions, patients worked all day, every day, just as laborers. In others, they only worked a few hours a day.
That sort of emulates our prison labor episode. Remember? That's how that all started.
It's the same deal. And that's
with
like
prisoner leasing.
That's where you get the comparison between the mental institution and the prison. It's like the same, they kind of like smash together. But I don't think that that's by like design or even by like virtue or want of the institution itself. I think that just is, if you have similar things, look at a high school, right? Like you could also have high school students do the same shit if you're like, if a principal is allowed to have the kids make fucking...
The kids in shop class are going to start making...
fucking bird feeders or some shit that they can sell for profit. If a principal was allowed to do that to like cut the back end off of their fucking funding, like their budget for the year, they absolutely would. If you have a big building full of people that have to do what you say, eventually if you get the chance, you're going to make them do shit. Maybe not me because I'm not a fucking monster.
I've been saying it's an inevitability that eventually it may be happening in certain places.
No.
Like high school sporting events are going to start charging admission because normally you go to the game, it's free. It's your high school, you know, and you make some money off of like hot dogs and nachos. But other than that,
cool.
Is that cool?
Capitalism, baby.
Capitalism, baby. So yeah, like
I think it's more just fucking government mismanagement than anything.
That's capitalism, baby. Like
they do go hand in hand.
Here's the problem now, though. Okay, so like in this exact situation where they're supplementing their own budget with goods and services or things that are made within the facility walls, or they're feeding themselves off of off of bread that's being made by patients,
or parent
like
bake sales.
So their budget drops now, right? Which is reflected at the end of the year in their taxes, which means the government's like, oh, so you only need this for an operating budget, so they get less money, which means then corners start getting cut. So by virtue, I guess, or want of their own scheme to inflate their own budgets, they end up with deteriorating facilities
Right.
because they now have legitimately less money.
Right.
Which, I mean, is a vicious cycle, and we're watching the same thing happen from the time of fucking Hippocrates. You know, it's like it's this ebb and flow of we'll be hopeful and we'll make things better, and then it declines into the
Yeah, because you could even say, well, we're still using the same budget. We're just we're doing these things to sort of add some capital so that we can spend money in other areas. But, at the end of, especially with anything that's government funded, at the end of every year, you have to give like a line item breakdown of
exactly.
This is what we spent on this. This is what so if we put some of this money from the quilts that we sold toward food, now that food line looks smaller in terms of, money wise, it looks smaller in terms of what we used from the budget for food.
Yeah.
So any bureaucrat dickhead in a government office is going to go, well, they didn't spend as much on food this year. So let's go ahead and
Turns out
cut them 10%.
lunatics don't need food. Who'd have thunk it?
Or blankets.
No blankets, no
They
food.
don't feel cold.
Well, cut those items out of the budget.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't want to do this anymore.
What are you talking about?
I'm just joking. Okay. So in 1887, there's a journalist named Nellie Bly who undertook one of the most famous acts of undercover reporting in history. She pretended to be mentally ill, and she convinced physicians to commit her to Blackwell Island Lunatic Asylum in New York, a very famous psychiatric facility. Once inside, she discovered that many patients were not violent or irrational. Some were recent immigrants who spoke little English and had been misunderstood.
Oh my God.
Others appeared depressed, exhausted, or physically ill rather than psychotic.
All describe me.
Bly described... yeah, you barely speak English. Bly described icy baths in freezing water, coarse clothing that remained damp for days, meager meals, and attendants who responded to complaints with ridicule or blows. She later wrote that the institution itself seemed capable of breaking a healthy person's spirit through monotony, isolation, and neglect. So in essence, if you came just a little crazy, then after a while you'd be fully indoctrinated into a world of crazy.
Yeah, we're gonna help beef up those numbers.
Like if you
My more contemporary experience, I don't know how much I want to get into this, but when I was 16, now over
when you were 16, you had a spirit vision where you became Nellie Bly
yes
and lived this story.
yes.
I thought it was Nelly Furtado.
Is that like a kind of taco?
Anyway, I was
Drew's got a real life story. Fuck you.
nope, not telling it.
I love you, buddy. I'm just fucking.
When you were 16.
Well, and I was held under a psychiatric hold.
I thought you were going to say you were held down by an orderly and viciously. Never mind.
Assaulted otherwise.
I haven't gotten to that part yet.
Okay.
No, I would say just the experience. I don't know how crazy I was. I was definitely depressed, but I was much fucking crazier coming out of there.
Yeah, which
Way
is
more.
often the case. Yeah.
Yeah, and for a while, and just the
How long was your vacation? How long did you spend in there?
it's like a 3 day typical Florida BA52 48 to 72 hour hold. I was there for 3 days.
Yeah, my older brother,
Twice.
Preston, he was in a psychiatric facility for several weeks when he was like a young teenager, like 13 or 14.
And he probably came out more fucked up.
Well, I mean, he killed himself.
Oh, yeah. I knew that.
All right, moving on.
I knew that. I just didn't think Riley was going to rattle it off on the fucking podcast. Jesus
Oh,
Christ.
fuck. It's, something that you guys might know about me is that I hold those moments very dear. When I can just throw that one out and I get that exact look and reaction.
That is true. Riley loves
fuck,
to
I
just
love that.
throw out some shit about
Yep, I sure do.
his family life that makes everybody
hated
go,
his father.
oh, God.
Yeah, it's good. It's fun. Oh. Thanks, Preston.
Anyway, yeah, I think my point being with my own, brief personal account of this is that I think being in an environment where everybody around you is maybe more crazy than you, and being told that you're crazy and being treated like you're, a raving lunatic.
Yeah, but it eats like a duck and it quacks like a duck and it walks like a duck.
Especially in those formative years, I think maybe has more of an influence than might be generally.
I get you. What you really hope for from something like that is you get treated like Heath Ledger in 10 Things I Hate About You, where he's like hot and everyone's like, oh, I heard that he stayed at a mental institution. Ooh.
He's going to get so laid.
He's so hot. He's unstable. But then it's not that. You're a dangerous and scary element in an otherwise calm place.
I don't know. I was juggling 2 girlfriends at that time too.
Oh yeah, hey. Crazy boy likes to fuck. There's another
He fucks like he belongs in an insane asylum.
He's got those grippy socks with attraction, you know?
Yeah.
Okay. So anyway, Nellie Bly, she describes all this shit. It's bad, obviously. Her expose was published as 10 Days in a Madhouse. It prompted a public investigation and increased municipal funding for the asylum, which is fun. Like, she went to this place and she's like, this place fucking sucks and is bad at its job.
And they were like, here, have some money.
They probably need more money, which, I mean, was true as well. Like, they probably did need more money. But it's just interesting, like, you know, she does that expose, there's a public outcry, and the governor's like,
this looks bad.
Fucking give them more money. More money. It also demonstrated this like enduring pattern. You know, meaningful reform often required outsiders like journalists or reformers or former patients to reveal conditions that officials had tolerated for years.
Fair.
I kind of want to wrap it up there, actually. There's no end point to this story. You know what I mean? It comes up to the modern day, but I think, you know, not to like plan future episodes or anything, but I do think that the collapse of the psychiatric health institutions in the United States through the 1900s is a big topic.
Yeah.
It has everything to do with the Dust Bowl, the wars, fucking political corruption, the New Deal, all kinds of shit is piled on top of that. You know, when we're doing historical analysis and we go in as far as the 1800s, there's a disconnect even like within ourselves, I feel like, to try and understand the people and places of that time.
It's impossible.
You know? It's impossible. It's like, I was at a bookstore yesterday and I saw this book. It's called Stoner, which is interesting, but it's like an American novel about a man who lived in like the late 1800s. And I thought I was intrigued by it. I didn't pick it up, but I looked up a lot of stuff about it later that night. The guy's name is Stoner. He's not smoking weed, but like the consensus is like, it's a look at a very normal person in like 1870. And that's 200 pages of normal person in 1870, and everyone that read it is like, I cannot relate to any of this shit. Like, it's like,
yeah,
this is all very complicated.
I think that's why, you know, certainly at least on the episodes that I do, and I think you do a good job of doing the same. We always try to link everything because everything is so interconnected, and sometimes you don't see sort of that web.
No.
And that was a big reason why we started doing the podcast, is because you don't get taught that web.
Yeah, I mean, that's our thing. Yeah,
you know, growing up, going just
turns out everything's about cum, butts, balls, boners.
Yeah,
for the most part.
Dicks, cooter.
Yeah. Dicks, cooters, penals, boofing.
Jesus Christ.
And
so, are you saying we might go further?
I think we'll go down this rabbit hole a little bit further in a future episode. I don't think I want to make it a third part.
Nah.
But because here we are with psychiatric medicine, and this brings us up to the 1900s. Suffice to say, in a nutshell, a lot of these institutions fail because of the events of the 1900s, and we still haven't recovered.
Yeah,
that's pretty much where
also
we're at.
Just in terms of doing a third episode back to back, like we
no, I'm not saying
the
now,
reason
but
we
later.
haven't done a 2-parter back to back in a while is because there is always some fall off between part 1 and part 2.
This one's fun though because of all the ball whipping.
Yeah, ball shocking.
Yeah, I think this one's better than the first one actually because of all the ball whipping,
the
bloodletting, the spinning chair.
All the names were good.
Dicks, butts, balls, boners. No, is it dicks, penals, and all that?
Yeah.
Tutors.
Well, we didn't really get into it, but as far as contemporary like mental health and all that, having worked in an ER, especially one of the ERs that I worked in, which I won't go into, which was in a town that there was nothing else around. Like, this is where everybody who got picked up by the police or if they only brought them in, they all funneled through there before they could go get treatment elsewhere. So I've just seen like a lot of how it works now.
Yeah. That was essentially the impetus with Drew being on the episode today, except we love you and want you on the episode all the time.
Sure.
We'll come back. We'll come back for mental health in the 1900s and exploration on the economic impact of a developing society.
Probably like a year from now.
Well, add it to the list.
Here it goes.
He's not actually doing anything.
Just holding his arm in the air. Now he's not even doing that part.
We put it on there.
Oh, God. All right. Well,
The next thing that we would talk about is eugenics, and I'll talk about that later.
Oh, God.
Yeah. There's a lot left. Even the things that we did today is very truncated.
Yeah.
Everything we talked about before is very truncated. It's a massive fucking topic.
It's too big to.
I bit
really-
off more than I could chew on this one, frankly. But
Yeah.
Give me enough time, we'll get there.
And frankly. All right. If you enjoyed this episode and you want to let us know, the best way to do that is to get on whatever it is that you're listening to. Leave us 5 stars if you're on Apple Podcasts. Leave us a comment if you're on Spotify. Remember to stop jacking off the weapons.
I'm not. You were playing with your fucking katana the whole time.
I know, and I'm going to do this every week now.
I'm gonna fucking hide that thing.
Remember on Spotify to lightly edit yourself, because otherwise your comment will not show up for everyone to see.
You don't have to. If you want other people to see it, you can do that.
If you want everybody to see it, lightly edit. If
If you want us to see it, you can say
see
whatever you want.
At any rate,
Shout out to Dwight Mosby for the cool t-shirts we're wearing.
What's up,
Thank-
Dwight?
I'm wearing Monolord right now. It's fucking dope.
I'm wearing RHCP, Red Hot Chili Peppers. Fucking suck.
That's good.
and I'm wearing Devil Guy Fieri.
Yeah, it's cool.
Also,
I
join
should
us
specify,
on.
just if Dwight's listening, it's the Devil Guy Fieri that's like the Baphomet, not the cool cutoff one with the 666 on his forehead.
There's multiple.
There are multiple Guy Fieri. I got a bunch of t-shirts with Dwight Mosby.
Okay. Boy, oh boy. Also, check us out on Instagram and YouTube at Delete Everything Podcast, where you can find videos, pictures, all kinds of stuff. Riley definitely got done recording last week and went and did a bunch of them, like he said on air that he was
I'm
going to go
doing
do.
it tonight.
That's what you said last week.
I did it.
motherfucker.
He did nothing.
I did it.
You did nothing.
They're all done.
Nothing. Tra-la-la.
Checking again.
Also, if you guys want to check out our Patreon, patreon.com/Delete Everything Podcast, we've got like 3 episodes unlocked for anybody to listen to. If you want, like, I don't know, 30 times that, then hop on and join us on Patreon. I do have to say this. With quick aside, I don't know how many people have like clicked away to the next episode or to their next podcast at this point, but Patreon, I feel like, is cool that we have like everybody on Patreon like in a group chat.
Yeah.
And it is sort of cool to like have like slowly building this little community. So I think that's neat.
Yeah, it is fun. It's fucking absurd, is that it is.
It's absurd, but I mean, it gives you direct access to us. Direct. Anyway, fuck it. Bye. Next week.
Bye.
Bye, baby.
The fuck was that?
Oh no.
That's the power of King. Now we got Dick.
Psychiatric is bad habits.